Said I don't want to raise income taxes on high net worth people. I want them to know that New York is a place where we want to foster innovation, be open to your success, because your success means you're hiring more people. You're putting more people to work. Any tax increase has to come across my desk first.
Hochul's not going to side with them on raising the taxes. Guess what Hochul just came out and said? She is open to raising taxes on New York corporations to fund socialist Mamdani's
Here we go.
freebies. New Yorkers, you asked for it, you're about to get it.
Go.
Hochul is agreeing to do it. Hochul is agreeing to do it. Reportedly open to raising taxes on in the Empire State to help fund Mamdani stuff. Hochul, who is up for election in 2026, sticking to her vow to not hit high earners with higher taxes, but has had preliminary conversations about raising revenues by upping the corporate tax rate. According to Politico, the hike would help fill the more than $4 billion budget gap facing the states next year, cover some of the costs associated with Mamdani's socialist dream in the Big Apple. Once he becomes mayor, Bloomberg reported the revelation comes after a Thursday meeting with Mamdani and Hochul, in which the pair discussed their shared goals of delivering universal child care. Raising the corporate tax rate will mark a notable shift for Hochul, who has repeatedly said that she would not raise taxes when pressed by the far-left faction of the party that helped propel Mamdani into office. Now she's open to the idea. And, Rob, I don't think we have a video on this, but, Tom, I'll come to you, and then I'm going to come to the Mamdani thing with Starbucks. Go ahead, Tom.
We'll make this really quick. Hochul needs voters, so there will not be taxes raised on the voters, because even though it's the Mad Mamdani, wants to raise them on everybody, especially the wealthy.
Like his parents.
She doesn't want to raise anything on people, so that there's no way that you can come after her. You raise taxes on people, so that she can say, fast forward next August, I didn't raise taxes on any person in the state of New York. Not one individual taxpayer consumer received an increase under my administration in the last year since Mamdani was elected. She wants that. How does she do that? Tax the corporations.
Very smart.
And by the way, if New York runs short of money, where do they go first? D.C. or Albany?
Oh, Albany.
Correct.
Here's capitalist South Korea at night from space. Here's socialist North Korea. Yeah. In 1990, Venezuela was wealthier than Poland. But then Poland, finally free of Soviet-style economics, went all in on capitalism. And now their economy is as big as Japan. And people there have high wages, low inflation,
Japan.
Cars, vacations, homes. Meanwhile, Venezuela traded capitalism for Hugo Chavez's socialism for the 21st century, which turned out to be like socialism in the last century, or any century, a fucking mess. It turned one of Latin America's richest countries into one of its poorest. Low wages, high inflation, shortages, outages, 8 million people fleeing. If you think New York can somehow reinvent this wheel, you're in for a rude awakening. Zoran can't make your wishes come true. You're thinking of Zoltar.
The movie Big.
His agenda is incredibly ambitious. It is, as he has described it, a democratic socialist agenda. Free childcare, free buses, rent freeze, the list goes on. I talked to him on Monday night. He said to me he hasn't wavered 1 millimeter on raising taxes on New York City's wealthiest residents to pay for some of that. Now, Governor, you have said repeatedly that you would not raise taxes. You said, quote, I've said there's no new income taxes. Do you stand by that promise?
Yes. Again, what I find so fascinating is all this conversation about how I'm continuing to lead New York State. I'm the one putting money back in people's pockets and cutting middle-class taxes, as I've done, and finding ways to support child care. These are areas where I'm aligned with Zoran Mamdani. And we'll work on this and build more housing so people can have a roof over their heads in New York City.